Hello class, this is a video tutorial on perimeter. The first thing that we need to learn is what perimeter is. I've written here the basic definition. Perimeter is the total length of the lines enclosing a 2D shape. And the meaning of enclosing, by the way, is if I draw a shape, the lines that make that shape. So there's a shape that exists here. These lines enclose that shape. Another way you can think of it, instead of enclosing, is the lines, you can change this, the lines that make the shape. So let's get into it here. Let's get straight into it. I have two types of examples here. One where there is a measurement needing to require, meaning we have to measure it ourselves. And in this one here, we are told the measurements and we have to work with the numbers that we are given. So let's start first with this rectangle here. So in order to calculate the perimeter of this shape, we would have to add how long this line is. We add this line, and then we add the length of this line, and then we add the length of this line. So what we do here is first we recognize that this line and this line are the same. So really we only need to measure one. And we also see that this line and this line are also the same. So we really only need to measure this line and add it twice. So let's measure this line here. I'm getting it as pretty close to 4 centimeters. So we'll write this down as P for perimeter, 4 centimeters plus, we'll measure this line here, but this line here is the same as this line, so we'll measure this one. I'm getting that close to, it's a bit off with the millimeters, but we'll just say it's about 5. Now since we know that this line is 4, that means this line must also be 4. And since we know that this is 5 centimeters, we must know that this line is also 5 centimeters. So we'll just add another 5. Adding these numbers together, just showing you a few strategies. 4 plus 4 make 8, plus 5 plus 5 make 10, which gives me a total of 18 centimeters. So the total length of these lines make 18 centimeters. Let's take a look also at this example here. This is a kite, and as we can see, this line is equal to that line, and this line is equal to that line. So we really only need to measure these two lines. Let's begin as perimeter equals, we'll measure this line first. I have it at close to 6 centimeters. So we'll just say 6 plus, well, since there's two of them, 6 plus 6 plus, so I measured this line, but since this line is the same length, we just add another 6. Then we measure this line here. I'm getting it at 3 centimeters, around about. We have two sets of 3 centimeters for this line, and then another 3 for that line, which gives us a total of, again, we can do some tricks here. 6 and 6 make 12, plus 6 gives us a total of 18 centimeters as well. That is coincidental. Let's move on. Now in this example, we no longer need any rulers because we are told in this trapezium the length of each side. So as we can see, we can just use the numbers here. Since they said that this is 4, so we're going to add 1 4 plus, add 1 7 plus, add the 5. However, let's not forget that this line is also equal to this line, so hence why we need to add another 5, which gives us a total of 4 plus 7 is 11, plus 5 plus 5 make 10, gives us a total of 21, and since our measurement is in meters, we'll give it in 21 meters. And lastly here, example D, I forgot to put a little letter there, example D. Here we have a L block, or a L shape. For these ones, we can still just use the measurements. We're told that this is 10 and that's 12. So let's go ahead and see if, well, let's add that. That's 10, so we'll put a 10 plus this length here, which is 12, plus, now, here's where it gets a little tricky. We need to figure out the lengths of this line, this one, and this one. Now, let's consider this. If this is 10, well, in this case 10 millimeters, can you also see that along this side, here, let me get my ruler, along this side, along that side there, it must also be 10 millimeters. So I don't really worry about what this line is, or this line. Since we're going to add both of them anyway, we know that the entire length from top to bottom is also 10 millimeters. So we need to add another 10. And the same logic applies going across from the left to the right. Well, since this is 12 millimeters, it must be the case that this here is also 12 millimeters. So we need to add another 12. Once again, doing a little tricks. 10 plus 10 make 20, plus 12 plus 12, 24, gives us 44 millimeters. So I hope that gives you an insight into perimeter, and best of luck to you all.